The nautical style is back in fashion in 2025. Come check it out. The first trend returning along with the nautical style includes pieces that mix red, navy blue, and white. As you already know, this sailor style goes very well with these colors. Just by wearing them in your outfits, you're already referencing this style. Combined with tailored pieces, it becomes even more elegant and sophisticated. You don't have to wear all three colors. You can pair red and navy blue, for example, or navy blue and white. But the presence of navy blue is essential when we talk about a more intense nautical style. You can also add other elements that reference this style. We'll look at them in today's top picks. Personally, I really like the combination of skirts with tailored blouses or tailored pants with tailored shirts. Always in these tones, such as red and navy blue or navy blue with white. Navy blue, on its own, is a very sophisticated color. It's no wonder it's often chosen to be part of logos, for example, of companies that want to convey a more responsible image like banks, right? It's not common to see a bank or an institution that needs to inspire trust using navy blue as one of its main colors. This is all due to color psychology. So, if you're a woman with a more classic, traditional, and elegant style, I highly recommend this color. Besides that, it works as a great substitute for black. As I've already mentioned here on the channel, black can be too harsh on some people. For some, black looks magnificent, but for others, it can make you look pale, accentuate dark circles, or give the appearance of wrinkles. For those people, I always suggest replacing black with navy blue. I'm really happy because with this stronger nautical trend, we'll have more options. So, if you used to complain, saying, "Oh, but the black dress is easier to find," now you won't have as much trouble wearing this wonderful color. It's super elegant and looks good on all ages, but especially on mature women. Mature women over 50, 60, 70 look stunning in navy blue. And you can pair it with white, red, or white and red to enjoy this trend even more. Trend number 2. White pants. White pants are an excellent way to join this trend with a piece you probably already have. You likely already have tailored pants or white jeans. As I mentioned before, they're hugely popular throughout the summer of 2025. So, grab this piece, add a few more nautical elements, and you're good to go. I particularly love white jeans. I've already told you here on the channel that the reason is very simple. Often, when we buy tailored pants, for example, they can be see-through. They might come in a thinner fabric and, let's be honest, some materials are really delicate. Especially when we live in very hot regions, if you wear something thick enough for the white to be completely opaque, you'll overheat. To avoid that, we sometimes choose a thinner fabric. With white jeans, you don't have the problem of your underwear showing through. You won't face any of those issues because denim is naturally a bit thicker. So you can wear nude underwear, for example, and the jeans won't mark much in terms of color or shape. Just putting them on already makes things easier. I highly recommend pairing these pants with other elements we'll show in today's video. Elements like raffia, straw bags, hats. A beautiful striped blouse in navy blue and white looks amazing. A red blouse also looks great. All these elements are very trendy for summer 2025. So they're safe investments. A few years ago, many years ago, if I'm not mistaken, this trend was also very popular. In fact, I bought some blouses back then because I've always liked this style. And honestly, it looks super cute. Let's make the most of it because it's a very sophisticated trend that's currently in fashion. But we can also say it has a more timeless vibe. Number 3 are pieces with gold buttons. That's right, gold buttons by themselves already bring that sailor or navy vibe, right? They make that reference. These buttons look beautiful, for example, on a navy blue blazer. A white blazer also looks very nice, and you can even do this at home, okay girls? If you have a blue, white, or red blazer, you can simply buy and replace the buttons. You'll find them for sale on Mercado Libre, Shein, or AliExpress. Just search for gold buttons. Choose ones of decent quality so they don't peel, and just replace the buttons on your blazer. That's it. You're already on trend. You can also, for example, buy a blazer from a thrift store and change the buttons. Guys, you know I always say here on the channel that it is interesting to enjoy and follow trends after all. For some people, it's a hobby, but without wasting money or buying things you won't use, right? So why not take a piece you already have, change the buttons, and get that nautical trend effect? You can even change the buttons on jeans, and if you get tired of it later, just switch back to the original buttons. How practical is that? That's what I always aim for when I talk to you about trends here on the channel. These buttons, folks, draw attention on their own, so keep in mind that it's something a bit more creative. Maybe a super traditional woman won't like it that much, and that's perfectly fine. In that case, I recommend a button that blends brown tones, like tortoiseshell glasses. That kind of look works great too. But gold clearly leans more into the nautical style, so that's the one I highly recommend. Honestly, this gave me so many ideas. I'm going to buy some buttons and start switching them at home. I have some very nice blue jeans that would go perfectly with a striped red and white shirt. It would look gorgeous. I'm finishing this video and going straight to look for those buttons. Number 4 are espadrilles or wedge sandals. Here on the channel, I usually call them wedges, but espadrilles are part of it too, okay? Basically, they're shoes with raffia or straw soles. These soles give that classic summer vibe, beachy, resort-like, cruise-ready. I think they're super cute and go really well with feminine, upbeat, happy women because they give off that joyful vibe. At the same time, they're romantic because many have ankle ties, bringing in that delicate, feminine feel. You know, I always try to bring feminine, delicate, sophisticated pieces to the channel. That's my style, and I like to share a bit of it with you. There's just one small issue with this type of shoe, which is that they can't get wet. So, if you get caught in the rain, make sure to dry them really well before storing them, since they're made of natural materials like raffia and straw, which are more biodegradable and naturally break down more easily. So I recommend that if you wear them, clean and dry them well before putting them away to avoid ruining your shoes. Ideally, invest in ones with ankle ties, because as I've mentioned here before, laces, ties, and straps are super trendy for 2025. So why not bring that into your footwear? Another tip is to combine trends. You can find shoes that mix raffia with navy blue or red, which also look really nice, or even white or off-white. The idea here is to combine with the nautical trend colors, maybe even find a pair with a little gold button to match. Mixing all of that, you'll have the perfect item to fit into the nautical fashion trend. But here's another tip. You can take a wedge or espadrille you already own and paint the fabric part with fabric paint. Yes, it's totally possible to revamp old pieces in your closet and keep using them. Just look it up here on YouTube. You'll find tutorials on how to paint and modernize your shoes and get them back in action for the summer. Because let's be real, we love being stylish, but we don't love wasting money, right? And tell me, do you like this nautical style? Do you enjoy that sailor look? Let me know in the comments. And while you're at it, help me out by leaving the magic words of the day, which are Navy 2025. By writing those 2 little words, you help me a lot to keep bringing you new videos here on the channel. I'm counting on you. While you comment and help me, let's keep going with the video. Number 5 is jumpsuits, especially in white and navy blue. Because these colors already give that nautical style reference, jumpsuits are something some people love and others don't, and that's totally understandable. Many people have the idea that a jumpsuit is just that traditional model, like overalls, for example. A lot of people think, oh, that's the only model. But no, we have a very large variety. We have, for example, a more tailored style jumpsuit, which looks stunning. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I always like to add a note for you. Avoid it if you're the kind of woman who needs to go to the bathroom all the time. I, for example, instead of wearing jumpsuits, usually opt for sets. Why? Because I'm always going to my little bathroom, and with a jumpsuit, you have to take the whole thing off just to go. That ends up being a bit uncomfortable. And we know that many women, right? Sometimes they're pregnant or going through a situation where they can't hold it in for long. So in those situations, avoid jumpsuits for everyday wear. It's a super practical piece. You put it on, and you're ready, but it can get in the way when we're talking about these more physiological needs. So I always like to bring up that point. Other than that, you just need to choose the model you prefer. Denim jumpsuits offer more durability over time and basically last ad eternum. Linen, cotton, and viscose models will keep you cooler. If you're a hot-natured woman like I am, or if you live in Rio de Janeiro or in a hot city like I do, I highly recommend opting for these more natural fabrics, which are also very trendy in 2025. If you're bolder, the more creative models will be perfect for you. If you're more traditional, stick to tailoring. It will look perfect and match what you already have in your wardrobe. The idea here is to follow the trend, take advantage of what we already own, and buy things that match our personal style. Number 6 is stripes, especially combining blue and white or red and white. In particular, pants and shirts, we're going to see a lot of stripes in 2025. In fact, in the latest videos, I showed you that image of pants that look like pajamas, you know? Tops that also have that pajama vibe because they're striped pieces. You can pick up on the stripe trend and add that nautical touch by going for the classic combos: white and red, blue, white and red, or blue and white. These 3 combinations are amazing. Of course, the blue and white striped shirt is the most traditional. It's the most classic. It never goes out of style, okay girls? It's timeless. It's still going strong. It's very rare for someone to say, "Wow, that shirt is out of style." What can happen is that it has a boom moment, right? You know how some pieces come in with a boom, everyone wears them, and then, over time, people stop wearing them as much. And then it fades from being a super hot trend. But stripes, especially blue and white, and especially vertical stripes, standing up, right? I always like to explain that to you, are a pattern that never goes out of fashion. So if you're looking for a piece that will never go out of style in your wardrobe, grab one of these. But pay attention. Buy a good quality shirt. Why? Because I've been through situations where I bought shirts either for me or my husband and they turned out to be stiff, hard to iron, and not very comfortable to wear. So always pay attention to the fabric. A natural soft fabric is ideal for daily wear. And when you go to buy that shirt, already think about how you'll wear it. Will you use it as a third piece? Will you wear it open? Just buttoned up? So you don't end up buying something too big or too small, okay girls? Number 7 is accessories with nautical marine themes. We will see a lot of presents, for example, of those crochet bags that imitate a fishing net. We will also have bags with fish elements. Guys, I'm seeing a lot of bags and wallets, or even little tins that imitate sardine cans, you know? Really making that reference. Even pencil cases shaped like fish, that's something I also noticed. We will have a lot of that fish, anchor, shells, and pearls appearing a lot. All these elements will show up in accessories. So you'll see them in belts, necklaces, bracelets, rings, bags, as I mentioned before, and even in prints. And all these elements together match this style and make it richer, but without weighing it down. You can, for example, pair white pants with a white and blue striped blouse, combine it with that bag I mentioned, the one that looks like a fishing net, and also wear, for example, a pearl necklace. You're totally into the nautical style, but without anything too caricatured, with pieces that are timeless, practical, everyday, and super modern. Because that's our goal, right, girls? Always bringing a modern vibe so it doesn't look outdated, old-fashioned, or like a costume. So always pick elements here. You don't need to have everything in the same look. Just pick elements to avoid that costume look. We don't want carnival costume vibes. We really want a vibe where someone looks at it and understands it's nautical, but they can't even explain why. That's what we're aiming for here. Number 8, to match this aesthetic, is the shoe. It can be a moccasin or a loafer. Nowadays, It's even hard to tell the difference between a moccasin and a loafer because some shoes have elements of both. So whenever I bring this to the channel, I give you both options so you can see what fits you best if you prefer something more structured or something more comfortable like a moccasin. So you choose. I'm biased. I think both are adorable, okay? These shoes have a slightly more masculine vibe, and that's exactly why they reference the sailor look so well, especially when you combine them with other elements I already mentioned. You can choose from various colors, but I highly recommend black or brown. If you're a woman with a high contrast, black will look perfect on you. You can even match it with other black elements like a black belt and black bag. It looks stunning. If you're a woman with medium contrast, like me, medium contrast means skin that's neither super pale nor dark, and hair that's neither jet black nor blonde. Usually these people have medium contrast. Like me, just look at the photo on the channel. In this case, I recommend brown. Brown moccasins and loafers look great and pair very well with navy blue. I find it an extremely elegant combination. You can opt for a shoe with a chunky sole if you want a more modern, slightly heavier, urban look, or a thinner sole if you want a more sophisticated, elegant, old money vibe. I know you like it. You love the elegant style, I know you well. So, if you want something a bit more subtle and sophisticated, go for the thinner sole, which is a more refined look. But if you want a more rugged, urban, rock and roll vibe, go for the chunky sole. I'm a fan of the chunky sole, but I also think the thin sole is super chic. I think it's the epitome of luxury. And if you're enjoying the video, you're going to love all the videos here on the Magamoda channel, because here we post videos every day, usually around 8 p.m. So you can watch while having dinner or washing your dishes, catching up on all the trends and beauty tips. You won't want to miss out. So, hit the notification bell so YouTube can alert you every time a fresh video is posted for you. While you do that, we'll continue with the video. Number 9 are the capri and flare pants. All these pants go very well with this style. The crop and capri bring a reference more to the 1920s, for example, which, as I've already mentioned here on the channel, is back in fashion in a big way. The 1970s trend also returned, and along with it, the flare pants. Flare pants, by the way, originated in the Navy. That's right, the Navy was responsible for bringing this type of pant, which was actually worn by sailors to help them dive without difficulty when taking off their shoes, and it also functioned as a flotation device. So, here's another piece of information for you. These pants came from there, which is why they match this style so well. You can choose a very wide flare pant or a slightly flared one, like the boot cut. This type of pant is quite sophisticated and differs a bit from the very creative vibe that the classic flare pant has for us. Both crop, capri, and flare pants follow the same color idea, so I highly recommend white, navy blue, and red. But that doesn't mean you can't invest in other colors, including striped patterns, especially for capri and crop pants, which will look amazing. Since we're talking about a shorter pant that cuts the silhouette, it tends to have a visual effect of shortening your height or making you look shorter. When you add stripes, it compensates for that. So, you won't have any problems with your silhouette. You balance one thing with another. Stripes in white and red, blue and white look simply incredible. It's a great time to enjoy stripes because they will appear in many different styles. So why not take advantage of this moment, especially if you're a woman who loves striped pieces? It's the perfect time to invest. Number 10 are scarves, berets, and straw hats. The idea here is to bring hair accessories. In the case of scarves, you can tie them with a bow on your ponytail, make a bun, or also tie them around your neck or on your bag. Scarves are extremely versatile and make you look extremely sophisticated. They bring that rich woman vibe and also add a touch of creativity, a slightly exotic and different vibe. You don't see people wearing scarves every day, so it catches attention. If you're a bit more daring, I highly recommend berets. They are a bit more playful, bringing that irreverence and youthful spirit. I'm biased. I'm in love with berets. I'm actually planning to create my own beret collection. I think they're amazing and wonderful. especially for disguising your hair on a bad hair day. Put on a beret, and you look perfect and fabulous. They work really well within this nautical trend. And as I mentioned, you can combine them with other things. So, if you like striped shirts, you can wear a horizontally striped shirt, the stripes lying flat, and you can go for either a nautical look or a more French-inspired look if you like that trend as well. You can walk between styles, trends, and aesthetics, right? If you prefer something a little more beach-inspired, I recommend the straw hat. Although it's not very nautical, it goes very well with beach elements like water, travel, resorts, and cruises. So the straw hat is also perfect, girls. It matches really well with the main colors of this trend and the overall aesthetic. Besides, it protects you and makes you look beautiful and radiant with perfect bronze skin, but without stains. Guys, straw hats are the best. If you don't have one, you should invest. Take advantage of it being in fashion, and you'll find them in many different sizes. Speaking of what's in fashion, did you know that the 1920s, 1970s, 1980s, and 1990s are back in full force, bringing many pieces you probably already have in your wardrobe? So, if you want to know what those pieces are, just click on the video that's appearing on your screen. I'll be waiting for you there.